So we ain't really never had no old money. We got a whole lot of new money though. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking, the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up dope in the pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't trust nobody with the trick, nobody. All of the gang and they come and get gang. Call me a river to do with the shit. Bad and bougie, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad and moving. We got 30s and 100 round too. My bitch is bad and bougie, bad. Cooking up dope with a boozy. My niggas is sad and moving. We got 30s and 100 round too.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. We've made it to yet another week. Made it through the All-Star break of the NBA, almost. Made it through All-Star weekend, at least. But we are back here on Monday at afternoon Betspresso, part of the Betting News Network, powered by our lovely sponsors at Bet Online. Click the QR code. Get some funds back in your account if you lost some this weekend like I did. Hopefully, you guys had a better betting weekend. But we got a full crew today. Still no teacher. SPJ is still on vacation, but we got my man Colby Marcio, we got NZ, and we got Vsauce, as well as I am Shaggy Betts. What's up, gentlemen? Happy Monday. How we doing?
What's going on, boys?
Yeah, with it, Four Nations coming up, and I just want to say this before we get into the show, because if the USA obviously does not win today, right? We don't get the matchup that we want. We don't get the rematch. So they better win today.
No. We get the rematch no matter what.
We're already locked in.
Four Nations is set.
You see this sad face? It's because I had nothing to write about because the game is useless. We'll get there.
We'll get there. But hey, V, you brought it up, so we're gonna pick on you a little bit. We're gonna start with a little weekend recap. My biggest takeaway from this recap is the USA went into Montreal and beat Canada at their own game, despite falling down 1-0 5 minutes into the game because of Connor McDavid. The U.S. battled back and took it to
Wait, he showed Canada. Up in a big game?
He did. He had a goal today, too.
He's the only one to do it. Yeah.
Vsauce, anything to say?
All I'm saying is we had quite the win streak going in this head-to-head matchup. It's all right. We needed to give you guys one. What matters is Thursday, right? After Thursday is all allow you guys to talk this shit. Nobody's talking no nothing for one little win. But I'm not surprised. It wouldn't be American if y'all weren't on the timeline posting y'all chest after that one win. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be American. But big matchup on Thursday. I'm excited.
I just noticed there was a lot of action on the Canadian Twitter timeline after that McDavid goal on Saturday night, and then they all went silent. Then I couldn't find.
Then we pulled out the old Michael Jordan. It's easy to talk shit when you're up.
Rumor is those people still haven't tweeted since then. They haven't tweeted since McDavid's first year in that game.
Hey, earlier today, Canada did knock off Finland to secure that rematch on Thursday. Jumped off to a very hot start. I believe it was 3-0 after the first period today.
Yep.
Ended up being 4-0 at one point. Finland battled back, though, 3 goals in that third period to make it a little interesting. But Canada secured the win. They got the win. They're taking on the U.S. on Thursday, so we get the rematch everybody was hoping for. So, but Four Nations overall, NZ, you're the hockey guy. What are your thoughts on this instead of the All-Star break?
Oh, I love it. This is so much better. It's so much more competitive. The guys are so into it. I hope they do this. Continue to do this. I don't know how they can really expand it. I don't know really how many more countries can add. It's going to be that many more games. I think this is the perfect amount of time that they're doing this in. There's a break in between, for even the teams that are now going to be eliminated after today. They have a few days before they start up again Saturday. I love it. I think it was a great idea. I think they should continue to do it. I don't know what it is about hockey players, but when they put their country on their chest, they become a whole different animal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, Nancy. And I think it's like It's so funny because as this is going on, right? Usually we have the NHL All-Star Weekend and then the NBA All-Star Weekend. They're on separate weekends. But because of the way the Four Nations is now spread out, it's all gone on during this weekend. And it's been a stark difference in the way that people are not only taking in everything that's happening, but the way that they're talking about it on the timeline or on social media, on Reddit, and everywhere. It's way and ways different. The 9 seconds in, 3 fights. You got both Kachuk brothers in the penalty box, high-fiving each other, telling them, no, your fight was crazy. No, your fight was crazy. Like the environment. And the thing is we can say all we want about Four Nations and the NHL doing a good job, but more than anything, it's the players that bought in. Fighting in an all-star game was something that isn't normal. We don't see, right? So you all of a sudden, you're wearing your country on your chest, but it's that thing that flipped in the players. That's what we're lacking across all other sports, and that's what we're doing trivia during Pro Bowl weekend. What are we doing?
Yeah, flag football game. I mean, I saw that.
Are we just not going to acknowledge the NBA's flop this
No,
weekend?
that was my exact.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I was waiting.
It was a flop. Yeah.
I'm waiting for it because. All right, we're in it. We're already.
We're in it. Go for it.
I'm not going to sit here. We don't need. First of all, all 4 of us can agree on this. We don't need to ramble about this. We talk about it every February. What is the flying F point of the NBA weekend? One. Yeah. I'm going to shout. Let's just go right at LeBron. What the F?
Yeah,
what
for
the
real.
F? What the literal F? You knew you weren't going to play. Why did you wait so long so nobody else could join in and get a replacement?
Agreed.
You are the problem. You are the face of the league. I don't care if you're 49 years old. You are the face of the league. You are the needle, and you don't even show up for All-Star Weekend. This is why no one cares. No one's ever going to care, and the only thing you can do is get rid of it. The whole weekend sucks. Maybe the celebrity game was cool, but I didn't know half those names, so I didn't care to watch Drewski run around and shoot threes. So I didn't watch that. But the dunk contest sucks. Sure, Mac McClung's keeping alive because he's got to get his check every year because he's not making enough in the G League, assuming, I don't know, his contract.
No, he's not. He's made 3 times as much in the dunk competition than he has in the.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I saw. You're right. I did see that. The skills competition. Chris Paul just wants to ruin the whole thing. The 3-point contest. The 3-point contest. I've seen a 3 made before. I don't need to see it made it again.
That's the only thing.
Every dunk has been made. I don't disagree with you, but this year still wasn't that cool. They keep adding random balls. Like, okay, the Mountain Dew ball, now the Starry ball, whatever the hell it's called. Okay, they need to have 3 of those at half court. Get rid of the 4-point, whatever they're called.
The 3-point competition was supposed to be like the appetizer leading into the dunk competition. Now
it used to be perfect.
Looks forward to because of the lack of competition in the dunk comp. And I don't even think that all dunks have been done. I talked about this with Sook, but it's you got to get over the fact that all dunks are done. But the way you get over that is by having superstars in the dunk competition. That's what makes it exciting. John Morant in the dunk competition would make it exciting, not Andre Jackson Jr. No disrespect to these guys.
Who? Just say it, B. Just say it. Who is that?
I don't know.
Nobody knows who that is. Nobody knows.
It's true. Bigger names would make it much more.
We used to have Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine and Dwight Howard was a regular participant. Nate
Robinson was awesome. Awesome.
Exactly. Yeah. And now you've got.
I didn't even know any of the guys that were in it.
I only knew the Bulls guy and Mac McClung.
T-Mac, Vince, everybody. You know what I mean? There's always big names in it, and it's just kind of lost its
je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, there you go. That's a better word.
But in another thing that we need to talk about, even though it comes up every year, but it's complete BS. Was it Ja that had the original tweet, I'll do it next year or something like that? And then Giannis said, I'll join you. How many years in a row are we going to see those godforsaken tweets? And then the year comes around and the event comes again. And they're like, you know what? We'll let that one guy with the afro play.
Giannis already said he got hacked.
That's actually wild.
But do we not see those tweets every single year? Everyone's like, oh yeah, the dunk contest sucks. Oh well, December comes around. Oh no, I'm good.
It does seem like it's just a reoccurring cycle of, hey, the NBA All-Star Weekend sucks. You've got you've got big names saying, hey, let's fix it. Let's participate next year. It rolls
Never
around and my back hurts. I need a break.
You know what? I'm gonna wear my street clothes in the All-Star photos.
And like,
Okay, so question for you guys. Sorry, Shaggy, go ahead first.
well, I was just gonna
It's
say,
it's so annoying.
I get the big guys, the big names wanting an actual break prior to the playoffs and the playoff push. So maybe it's just a whole timing thing. You need to just do it like the Pro Bowl and do it all after the season. I don't know, but
And then not have the game and still not have the game because it's going to be just like the Pro Bowl.
right.
Because it's the off season. We don't want to get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually did need to bring this up. Colby, do you really didn't recognize Andre Jackson?
I know Stephon Castle. I forgot Castle was in.
From the UConn Huskies, the blue-blooded two-time national champions.
Kobe puts on his NBA lenses when he's looking at the NBA. You know what I mean? Once you've graduated
Fair.
out of college,
Hold on. To save my rear end, I'm supposed to remember everybody's name from the last year when I'm trying to remember 364 new players' names. Sorry, I can only think of Caleb Love because of tonight.
They were both one and dones too. So, all right, you're off the hook. You're off the hook. Go
They're
ahead,
tough.
B, you got a question for us.
But I have a question for you guys. For guys that like obviously don't watch a whole lot of NBA, a couple of things that were proposed on the timeline that I saw might make this game more exciting, right? Now, this is just for the All-Star game, not about the weekend or anything like that. One thing was, instead of having they had the Rising Stars this time playing in that first game in that tournament, which everybody was up in arms about, that Rising Stars playing on Sunday means something, all this kind of stuff. Then play hard. If you don't want the young kids in this game, play hard.
Right.
But
yeah,
outside of that,
100% agree.
outside of that point, instead of the Rising Stars team, have an all-snub team. You have an all-snub team full of guys that were like the next biggest vote getters. This year's team would consist of guys like Luka Doncic, De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Norman Powell, other like big names. Trae Young was also on that list. Kyrie until the injury news for both guys. So you have this team, and then you have this same tournament style of play. Right? If they win their first game against one of the All-Star teams, they get the All-Star designation, and the team that lost loses their All-Star designation. Does that excite you guys?
It's better than the crap this year because the three teams playing to a whopping who gets to 40 points first is ridiculous.
I didn't know anything about that. I was like, why was there 40 points?
There was two and a half hours.
Why are we shortening the game?
I will say this. The only time the NBA has got it right in the last 25 years with this event was when Kobe died and they did that overtime. I forgot what the format was. It's been 5 years.
81. Yeah,
that was cool. Outside of that, you really just don't care. It's funny, V, that you mentioned Sunday is sacred. It just reminded me of JV playing on Saturday while varsity plays Friday nights in high school.
Exactly.
But honestly, high school football matters more than the NBA All-Star game. So Fridays are actually more sacred than Sundays.
V, I don't hate that idea if it incentivizes the players. I think that is the whole
problem.
thing is we need to get the players to care and the players to compete and bring effort. And I don't know how you do that, but you need to incentivize them somehow.
Or just give them 5 days off and let's stop this nonsense. Come on.
You don't need the day. You can just have an off-season awards. This guy has an all-star. Here's an award. Here's a trophy. You don't need the game. You really don't need the game. And no matter what you do to try to make this game better, it all comes down to, do the players really want to be there? And in reality, we all know the answer. They don't want to be there. You're getting paid generational wealth, and they want to continue to make generational wealth. So they're going to half-ass it every single year. So why have the event, and why have this ideology that if we change it, have a hopscotch event or something else that someone's going to give a flying F?
This is what it's about, because out of a 3-hour event, and I saw this, they played for 34 fucking minutes out of 120. The rest of it was all commercials and ads. The fuck is that? Other than the fact that now we know why they want to do it, because the league makes all that money. But it's crazy.
The other, I will say this too. It's why did we shorten the game? It's one thing to show that many commercials, but the game is that short. The game's up to 40 points. It's like we're playing 21 out there instead of a competitive basketball game.
Right, they get to 40 real fast.
We wanted this game to watch super teams play, but now we watch super teams play every single day during the season. That it takes the fun out of this All-Star game. You know what I mean? So now we're sitting here why aren't they doing more? Because nobody gives a shit.
I have one last thing, and I'll shut the hell up about this. I have one last thing. I really just think they should just kill this whole weekend, never let it happen again.
Yeah.
But they should have something early on in the season, maybe call it like the in-season tournament. Maybe that'll get kids excited or something like that. I don't know if the NBA's thought about doing it. The W kind of has that throughout the season with the Commissioner's Cup. But the MNBA really needs to consider maybe having an early season tournament. I don't know. Maybe that terminology doesn't tickle anybody's fancy, but that tickles mine if I was an MNBA fan. The M really deserves an in-season tournament right around November, December.
That's enough from Kobe.
All the ideas in this ratio. I
the M was that was the straw. That was the last straw. The M.
The MVP gets a check, right, of the All-Star game, but I mean, in the reality is all these guys make crazy money anyways. It's not
true.
It's
Everything
not
goes to
much
charity
incentive.
I was just going to say,
it's not
go to
much
charity.
Exactly. So, whatever.
At least somebody agrees. I can't bet Utah.
Hey, Cam, it actually might be the Utes tonight.
It is. It is Utah.
It actually
is
is probably the Utes tonight, Cam. But we'll get into that here in a second. All right. Any more NBA All-Star?
I actually have one last thing. I just want to say it is a fun event. It's mostly for the kids, I would assume, the NBA All-Star event, the whole weekend. It's cool if you're 8 years old. We all remember watching it as a kid. I remember Blake Griffin jumping over the Kia. That was I couldn't wait because I'm like, oh my God, this guy's high flying. I get to actually watch him dunk when there's no defenders. It's awesome. Bring back Nate Robinson. Bring back Dwight Howard. And one last thing, V, I do want your opinion on this. I saw Shook wasn't a big fan of McClung winning because he had props and stuff. When was it? It was Castle who came in second, right? Castle just was athleticism. Are we forgetting it's an entertainment event?
Me and Sid disagree on that. I thought the dunk was fucking insane. I thought yes, it's like the Blake dunk, but to go over the roof of the car instead of the hood of the car, one is already impressive. Yeah, I know he just he wasn't holding the ball. He didn't have to grab it. But at the end of the day, I guess there's two camps. There's he was leaping, and that was impressive. But is it really that impressive a dunk? And then there's a camp where it's yes, it is. It is that impressive a dunk, and that's where I fall. I thought it was insane. It was a funny tweet. It's somebody tweeted about him using the gimmicks or some silly gimmicks, and that's why he won. And somebody retweeted that tweet with the picture, and it's the silly gimmick in question, and it's a full Kia.
It's supposed to be oh my God, how did you think of that? Right. That's what it is. It's oh, cool. You spun around 8 times and your vertical's 58 inches. Well, duh, you're cool. Duh.
I'm honestly happy.
The first time you bring a dunk competition, you're a lot more conservative in the things that you bring out. And that's what everybody outside of McClung is. McClung is a 2-time champ who's been here before and has all the help in the world in terms of what he wants to get done. Stephon Castle's a rookie going about his rookie season and figuring out the trials and tribulations of an 82-game year while trying to find time to practice for a dunk competition. You know what I mean? It's different. I don't think it's fair, but Mac McClung won the dunk competition.
Yeah. And also get rid of the judges. I don't want to see a 40 when a guy didn't make a dunk. Get out of here. Get out of here.
What was that? I remember when I used to play NBA 06. We used to get 26.
Give a guy a freaking 2.
I feel like the NBA had to give the trophy to Mac McClung regardless, just because you can't pull a guy up from the G League for this competition and have him not take the trophy, right?
Let that white boy dunk.
That this is what All-Star Weekend has come to. We have a G League guy running the dunk competition, and we have a rising in the All-Star game.
You know it'd be hilarious? If they're okay, Mac, you could have any item you want. Oh, I'll take a car. Stephon Castle, have fun out there. You can jump over a person or whatever. And then he's like, well, what about a car? He's like, nah, McClung's got his.
Yeah, McClung did.
We can't have 2 cars out there, Stephon.
I had no idea that his difference of Blake's was he jumped over the roof instead of the hood until you said something. I thought it was the same thing, actually.
Went over the sunroof.
Wasn't this done
remember
before?
when Blake did it? I was impressed, but I was like, okay, it was a hood of the car, impressive. The McClung did, I was like, oh my, okay, whoa, this guy's 5'10".
Yeah, he's short.
He's
6'3"
I
or
think
4".
he's 6 foot. I think he's 6 foot, but
He's still short.
I can't wait for him to go for his 4-peat, and he does the Kobe where the car's driving at him and he jumps over it and dunks. That's gonna be sick.
Woo!
It's gonna be
He's
sick.
listed at 6'2", so
He's
listed at 6'2", so that guy's 5'11".
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Jumping
yeah.
out of the gym though.
Great
Ah.
talk. Boys. Great talk. Great talk. Great talk.
All right, we were talking about it a little bit. We steered away, got into the NBA All-Star Weekend, but we do have a Four Nations game tonight. It's meaningless, unfortunately. USA takes on Sweden. Totally meaningless game. The USA is already facing Canada in the championship on Thursday, regardless of the outcome. However, NZ, did you find something for the kiddos to sweat out in that game?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my regular picks here. I think USA goes in and gets the job done without a fucking problem. I know Sweden gave Canada a little bit of a problem, but nobody has given USA a problem yet, so I just don't see them really struggling tonight. Ottinger's in net, who's just as solid as Hellebuck. I mean, there's no real downgrade there. Matty Tkachuk won't play today; he'll get some rest. I honestly think we're going to see some goals too. So I'm leaning the over. It moved to 5.5 from 6.5, which I'm totally fine with. I mean, USA should score 3 or 4 goals on their own. Sweden will just kind of put the cherry on top to break us over the 6 mark. It sucks because I was really hoping that there was going to be implications for this game. I was all ready to write about it, but then I was like, well, there's not really much that this game can do other than they're just going to play and represent their countries. Nobody should go out there and half-ass it. So that's why I think USA still wins this by multiple. From a props perspective, got to ride with the hot hand, Mr. Tkachuk here. We're going to go with Brady for 3 shots. It's a little juiced, but I mean, he's been all over the place. I just don't see anything slowing down. They're going to want to stay sharp for Thursday. It is only Monday. They are already in Boston, so there's no reason for them to have to travel or anything like that. I would not be surprised if he puts one in the back of the net. I don't have the odds handy, but I can get them for you. Where is he? Plus 260. And then to go along with that, we're going to take Mr. Wierzinski for a point at minus 120. He's had a point in both games. Probably best defenseman on the team. He's just been in the mix of everything. Power play, he'll be right out there with the 4 offenders. I like him to catch his point tonight as well. So put them all together. I think it's like a plus 600 and something. We missed the other day for a full sweep by Sidney Crosby point the other night. But I don't see USA just laying down and saying, oh, whatever, if we lose, we lose. I don't see that happening. But I don't know what we get out of Sweden. That's my only concern. Like, I think they go out there and play, but they're not going to – there's no way they go out there with that same fight as if before when Canada hadn't won yet. So they're done. They're out. I don't know. Do they really fight that hard to get the win over USA? Maybe. It's bragging rights. They may want to. But I don't know. Give me USA all the way.
I mean, it's a bragging rights thing, and like you said, they're when they put on their international sweaters, there's a lot more pride to it. So I would expect them to come out a little bit. USA, you're gonna have guys that are getting an opportunity that haven't yet. I believe Chris Kreider has worked his way up into the lineup for this game, along with some other names. So they're still obviously gonna give it their all, even though they don't really need the result. But I like it, man. USA all the way, and the over. And the over, rooting for some goals, rooting for some back and forth.
Yeah, I think Nylander will finally find the back of the net tonight, too. The guy's been quiet the whole fucking tournament. He hasn't put one in. Plus 250. He's got to aliven himself somehow. I mean, I wouldn't even have if he can score 2 goals and what's his face? Adrian Kempe can score a goal. I'll be happy if US loses. That's fine. One of my futures will hit, but I don't see them scoring that many goals, but we'll see.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll see. Sweden, USA over 5.5, a little bit juiced, and then the USA on the puck line, as well as a couple of props. Brady Tkachuk 3+ SOGs and Zach Werenski for a point. Love it, brother. Vsauce, Colby, anything on the ice?
I will say one thing. I really enjoy hearing the wheeze. This is the only time we get to say that.
Fair.
V said it with Canada. I was like, we, and I was like, no, he can say it here. He can say it here. He can 100% say it here.
I will always say we about all of my teams. It's just who I am.
Absolutely.
Now you
He's like, yeah, we, the Lakers, we as a team.
The Lakers, absolutely not. They, them, the Lakers over there.
They, them Lakers.
There's
Lakers. I love it. That's awesome.
All right. Well, let's no NBA. Sorry, Vsauce. So we're gonna move on to college hoops. Colby and I got a couple of plays for the kiddos. Colby, you want to start since you got a couple?
Well, actually, the other one already finished.
Oh, actually, you're right. Yeah,
Howard went under by 3 points.
Oh, rough.
But if you took the 40,
I was gonna say, was that
7? You went over.
Was that your line that went under by 3 points?
Yeah, I had the 50.5. I didn't think it would matter, and it honestly shouldn't. They just went scoreless for 2.5 minutes between the 10.5 minute mark to the 8 minute mark. They were the second half. They were zooming UMES had their first half score in the first 10 minutes or first 8 minutes of the second half. They were zooming. Wow. The tempo was there. It was definitely the right read. And as much as I've been terrible as of late with college hoops, that one I can at least keep my head up. I would rather lose by a nut hair than lose by 42 points in that total. So it is what it is. But later today, the game of the night. I don't think the Duke Virginia is the game of the night. It's definitely Baylor, Arizona.
Yeah, I agree.
I took Baylor in this one. It's a revenge spot for them. In their last meeting a month ago, Arizona won by 11 points as 5.5-point favorites. Now they're short dogs. I find that as a weird number. If Arizona was getting a little more respect, I think they would be more of a favorite in this spot, even with them being at home or on the road, But Baylor is the second best team at home, according to Haslam metrics. Their trends are just mouth-watering. I'll go through them. They're 15-1 as a favorite this season, straight up, and 11-1 straight up as home favorites. They're 2-5 straight up against ranked opponents. But they're 1-0 at home against ranked opponents. They've only played 2 teams in the top 50, which is Kansas, who they beat, and West Virginia this past weekend. While having the 6th toughest schedule, they have a top 10 offense at home and a top 30 defense. Arizona is 82nd worst away from home. They're one of the most inconsistent teams. Shaggy's obviously going to touch on this in a second. They're one of the most inconsistent teams. There's not a lot of red. They suck from beyond the arc. They're atrocious. They're 26th worst from deep, and they don't shoot a lot, 302 and three-point rate. If Caleb Love isn't on, this team's not doing anything, according to talking about Arizona. Arizona is just so inconsistent. Saturday against Houston, they played okay. Caleb Love had 17 points, but if he's not in the zone tonight, it's all Baylor. But I do see a way for Arizona to bounce back after back-to-back losses and beat Baylor again. But I'm taking the trends, and I'm taking the team that excels at home, and I'm taking Baylor in this one because I don't like Arizona, even though I bet them on Saturday like an absolute moron, fading my own theory on they suck, but whatever. Hopefully I'm right this time around.
Yeah, I think it's Baylor or nothing. The line you said is already a little weird.
Unranked home fave. It's everybody's favorite trend. It doesn't really mean anything anymore, but it's still always fun to just mention it.
No, and I mean you've got the revenge spot at home, and you can't ask yourself why is Baylor favored in this game. Arizona's number 13 in the country. Sure, they've lost 2 straight, but are they really going to drop a third one? I think so. I think Arizona's a lot more. They've just got a lot more question marks on the road.
Yeah, I'll throw this at you. I was thinking about it yesterday, but I didn't want to put it in there. I did say Arizona is an analytical darling. I think Baylor is a lot better than what the stats show and everything I rattled off.
Absolutely.
Despite their record, I think they're a really good team with a lot of young talent that we talked about early on in the season that has progressed. They haven't gone off a cliff. They're a very good team.
No, and that's what we talked about Baylor this season is you bring in Jeremy Roach and Norchard O'Meara, 2 veteran guys, but 2 transfers. You rely on VJ Edgecombe and Robbie Wright, 2 freshmen to kind of be your go-to scorers. It's going to take some time for all that to come together. The talent is clearly there. It just needed some time to gel. And now they're gelling. Now they're looking really good. Looking at Arizona's travel schedule too, they hosted Houston on Saturday. They're in Waco right now. Hosted Houston on Saturday. They were in Manhappiness, Kansas on Tuesday, losing to Kansas State. Back at home the Saturday prior at Texas Tech before bouncing around the West Coast or the western part of the region, playing away games as well. I mean, they've been traveling plenty. They've been all over the place. Hosting BYU on Saturday, I don't want to say it as this is a game.
It's
they're
not
gonna
a
get
look ahead.
caught.
It's not a look ahead.
It's not a look ahead. This isn't a game they're necessarily going to get caught sleeping, but like this game on the road, I don't see them having the motivation that Baylor does. So and you factor in the revenge factor at home too. I think it's the Bears all the way. Go Bears.
It's going to be interesting. Like I said, if Caleb Love shows up, Arizona wins. If he doesn't, we'll cash.
Yeah, easy enough. I think we're just gonna have a bunch of short favorites on the money lines in our little Betspresso today. I think we're gonna go USA, we're gonna go Baylor, and then we'll throw in the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats.
Woo!
Got this money line today at -120. I don't know what it's at right now, chat, but I think I saw like -150, -160. Go ahead and take the 3.5 if you want to now, if you don't want to pay the juice, but you guys are all grown-ups. You can make your own decisions. Bethune-Cookman, though, revenge spot at home. Again, check that box already. They lost at Jackson State by 2.5-point underdogs. Ton of points in that game, 86-81. Total soared over 139. It's ticked up a little bit. We're going to see tons of points because we have 2 top 100 teams in terms of pace. And the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, I think, are just better on both sides of the ball. They're definitely better on both sides of the ball drastically at home. They're top 50 in EFG defense, top 25 in offensive rebounds allowed, and 11th at getting to the free throw line, all at home. They don't shoot well from deep, but they don't take very many threes. They tend to attack the rim where they shoot nearly 60% from inside the arc. Defensively, they suffocate the perimeter, 33rd in three-point rate defense, 57th three-point percentage. Could be a long night for Jackson State, who's bottom 40 in overall offensive efficiency, bottom 40 in turnover rate, and bottom 20 in EFG percentage as well. Defensively, Jackson State, the Tigers, 294th in EFG percentage. They cannot shoot from anywhere. Give me Bethune-Cookman at home to get some revenge.
Since people are probably going to wonder what our thoughts are, Duke, Virginia.
Yeah.
Where you lean?
It's a
I don't
lot
lean
of-
with the side. I forgot who I saw had it, but Virginia team total under. Disgusting.
It's a lot of points for Duke to cover for the amount of points that are probably going to be in the
Premium.
game.
Yep.
So what is it? What is it? 15?
Yeah, 15 and a half.
14 and a half.
I would not pay that for Duke.
No, I would.
In a game
not
they're
trust-
definitely not motivated for.
No, this is a game that Duke coasts, wins by 8, probably.
Duke
So-
team total over is at 72 and a half. That's a premium. What's the game's total? Did you say that? I'm sorry.
132 and a half. I'm looking at it right now.
I'd say under. Under.
Yeah,
And if it goes over, they cover.
I
don't
like
think they care.
I like the full game under. I like Virginia team total under. I kind of like that Duke team total over though too, but that would insinuate that they cover, and I don't trust them. So, yeah, I think it's the under or Virginia team total under if you're betting Duke Virginia for the other game of the night, the other ACC game of the night.
Shaggy and I have answers to your last week question, by the way.
Please. Which one?
You asked us where we leaned and who wins the Natty. Shaggy and I were talking on Saturday.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm about to say this because it's not March, and I don't know if I can trust this in March. It's Auburn.
It's Auburn.
It's Auburn.
There's one team, and
that
then
on Saturday
right now.
So regardless of their path, regardless of it's Auburn.
More than likely, yes.
From what I saw Saturday in Tuscaloosa, they did their own thing, dominated their own way, did not allow Alabama to pick the tempo up too fast to where they couldn't keep up with. They stopped Alabama from shooting from the perimeter, which they just don't have at all. Alabama can only score from the inside. I don't see Alabama making it deep in the tournament, depending on where they're at in the bracket. But Auburn is just that's a powerhouse right there.
Yeah, Auburn definitely separated themselves from the rest of the crowd with what they did on Saturday. I kind of had looped in Bama and Houston and maybe Duke if they can mature in the national title contenders, but
I like Florida over Houston though.
I like Houston matching up against Auburn because they got Juwan Roberts who can bang with.
Can I
room
just
down
say?
low,
Can I just say this though?
and
And
their
not saying you're
defense would
wrong.
suffocate the Auburn guards.
I'm not saying I don't disagree with you. I've never been able to buy into Houston. Everyone's always like, this team would beat yada yada on any court. I know every year is different, but just the track record. They've never been able to really do anything in the
rock fight.
They've never wowed me.
Mm-hmm.
It's either they're going to dominate you defensively or they're going to get blown out because they can't pick up the pace and score.
I don't know what I'm saying. Auburn and Houston already played this year. Auburn already beat Houston earlier in the year.
That was the
and
flight. The
Houston
flight
actually-
fight.
That was the flight. That was the flight. Yes. They were fighting on the play.
That was the easiest bet ever. Bet the team that had the fight. They're dogs.
They're dogs.
They're animals.
They were fighting on their plane to the game. Let's bet on them. It
was awesome. It's a scrappy team.
See,
They're already ready for Houston on the play.
That makes me like Houston against Auburn in a potential matchup that much more. To be honest,
I would need Houston to have. I would need Houston to get into a fight on the mat. right at their gate. Gate 14. There's a fight.
This is the problem. This is the problem with Houston. Houston's offense, they suck. It's just the way they go.
I do have something to add to the Betty Four here. Is it college you guys world into I'm not going to say that with the college kids, but we are going to take a play in the college slate. It's McNeese State minus 8.5 going up against what is this? SE Louisiana? I don't even know.
Southeast Louisiana.
What it is? Southeast Louisiana.
Right. Yep, you got
Both teams are 9-1 in their last 10 games. Louisiana is 7-2 at home this season, but for some reason, this spread is sitting at 8.5 towards the road team. McNeese's offense has been way and ways better. They rank 122nd in offensive rating, but Louisiana 223rd in offensive rating. And the thing that concerns me the most is the number of offensive rebounds that they give up and their lack of three-point shooting. This feels like the kind of game where you're going to get a team like McNeese State coming in after Louisiana just played an overtime game at home on Saturday. They're going to come in tonight. They beat this team by 27 points last month. This is a in-state rival. I don't know about rivalry, but it's an in-state game. I just feel like this is a place where McNeese State comes in and handles business, and 8.5. I think they win by double digits.
I always knew V was a Cowboy fan. Always knew it. Always knew. V, where are you getting these stats? I need to know if you're a Ken Palm guy or a Bart Torvik guy.
If it hits, I'll give it to you. If it doesn't, then I'm going to keep Tessie Quick safe.
He's got a group chat.
I love it. Hey, you said it, V. These teams already played. McNeese was a 14-point favorite at home, won by double the spread. Now it's dropped down. 6 points in the home and away swing kind of seems about right. I'm seeing it actually maybe opened up at 9.5. It has ticked down. I actually originally leaned under in this game. It did make my lean sheet. I held off. But McNeese is good. Will Wade's a great coach. Assuming they don't mess around, they should cover this number. Unfortunately, there's been some games where they have played down to their competition. Hopefully they don't do that tonight, handle business, and get the cover. So I like it, man. McNeese is a good team. Very, very good defensively.
One of the worst college basketball plays I've ever taken was last night. Creighton and St. John's. I took the under in that one, thinking that
I had the under too, V. I had the under too.
They couldn't miss. They could not miss.
No, and did you see the Pitino video?
I know. Yeah. I didn't watch the second half. I gave up after.
No. There's a video circulated. I tweeted it. Should you pull it up?
How long is it?
It's like it's not long. He's so awesome.
Oh, it's 50 seconds. We'll watch it.
He's just the best. He's the best. I get to see him on Wednesday, boys. Year 2, the Pitino trip. We're going out to dinner.
Same vibes, suit and everything.
No.
Every time you miss a shot, your game deflates. We don't care about your missed shots. Play defense.
Oh, he's awesome.
You guys keep blowing opportunity upon opportunity upon opportunity. You're like children with bad things happening. Instead of digging in and be tougher, you wilt. Where is your toughness?
He's awesome.
Where is your toughness? You're like children with bad things happening. Instead of digging in and be tougher, you wilt. Where is your toughness? 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 Where is your toughness Where have you guys been raised that you're so weak mentally that you just give up when something doesn't go right for you? Don't you know what adversity is all about? That's the game of life, not the game of basketball. You don't get down when things go wrong. You dig in and get tougher. Your whole life's going to be adversity. Learn how to deal with it.
Patino, Red
He's
Storm
awesome.
Rising, Tuesday.
What a
He's
quote.
awesome.
Your life's going to be adversity. Learn how to deal
Oh
with it.
my
I love
God.
that.
He's just awesome. No, V, I thought the defense was going to show up. I didn't think it would be such a track meet at the beginning. I mean, the second half showed you that it should have been the under. We came close. It's just the first half was so hot. But in the end, it was always the Johnnies. I didn't see the white suit, so I didn't feel comfortable with it. It was the perfect time because church is on Sundays at the Garden, and he didn't wear his suit.
Man.
Yeah, it was definitely the Johnnies. I think St. John's can definitely make a run.
They're so good.
I'm bought onto this team now. It took me however many games we've played, 24 games or so, to really believe. But I'm sold on the Johnnies. I think they can do it.
Thursday,
They got out a little bit of a run too. They didn't waver in that one, and they got out the win at the end. The defense might not have been there like me and Kobe thought, but I mean they played ball.
Right.
Thursday, boys, get excited. Circle the calendars because
the NBA is back.
Final Four Nations Championship.
That too, but the game of the night, FAU Wichita State.
Oh yeah,
Wichita State is coming off beating Memphis. And they're going into what town is FAU at? It's
Boca Raton.
They're going into Boca Raton, and it's Seinfeld night. Seinfeld night.
Yeah, I gotta put
Mega nuke whale.
Florida Atlantic hosting Seinfeld night this Thursday. Kramer is going to be there. I might book a flight just to have a chance at meeting Kramer. To be
Somebody
honest,
tell Sook, man, he's there.
Yeah,
About to say my best friend's an alumnus. Maybe I'll have to text him.
This is awesome.
I'll be reading this on the flight.
Yeah, right. Whatever
Joe,
gets
what are you
the kids to the game.
I only had one jersey hanging, and he fucking left, and so I replaced him with a soccer jersey. I've never had any other jerseys hanging except for the one that's on the floor that still is yet to be hung, and that's a Troutier jersey.
They're giving away Pez? Dude.
Oh my God.
Why couldn't DePaul do this?
But what hit Pez dispenser at a perfect sizing for sneaking them into a piano recital.
Whoever thought of this deserves a raise.
Yeah, this is great marketing. This is fantastic. Fantastic.
What do you think his appearance fee is though? Like that's a question. Like what is Kramer like? Is he an alumni there?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Kramer hasn't been that hot since his debacle at the Laugh Factory,
right?
2 decades ago,
a while ago. I wonder what is the tie to FAU. How they got him? Yeah,
there's no garbage cans to beat the crap out of. So what's Seinfeld got?
We'll just have a Kramer night. That's what we'll do.
It is random.
It's awesome.
I love it. All right, gentlemen. Well, it's time to do some crafting. So we got CBB from. We're gonna go Baylor money line. We're gonna go McAnise minus 9. That's okay. Bethan Cookman on the money line, and then let's add the USA. We'll just do the money line for the parlay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely.
And we are getting, if you'll let me parlay that. Oh, you make me go to a different book. Hold on. We're gonna get there.
If Mr. Jason Alexander was going to be there, I would so fly. Shaggy has the bobblehead. I'll never get over that.
Yeah, no.
I do, yeah. Shout out to I can't remember who sent me that. Shout out, I think Brent. Brett's Bets. Brent's Bets. Can't remember.
What a legend.
What a guy.
I told you all you had to do is pay for my ticket, and I would have went for you.
I forgot, and it was like the week of, and I'm like, I'm not gonna mention that.
You could have bought me like a 400th like last seat ticket for like 50 cents.
I would have got you the one behind like the beer stand.
Pole.
Damn it! It's Utah.
The standing room.
It's Utah.
I've seen so much love on KSU. They got to fall off.
Well, they fell off on Saturday. They lost to BYU. They didn't cover. Staying out in Utah, I think it could be the real downfall for the Kitty Cats. So I think it's Utah, Cam. I think it's Utah. All right, Betspresso 4. We've got McNeese minus 9.5. We got Bethune-Cookman and Baylor on the money lines for some 3 CBB, and then we've also got the USA on the money line at plus 705. That's what we got for those 4 legs. McNeese minus 9.5, Bethune-Cookman, Baylor, and the USA all on the money lines plus 705.
Hey, Shags, did this happen?
It's good. Feels real good.
Ooh, I feel like we would have heard about it. Yeah?
I didn't see.
Oh, we didn't just storm the court notification go off?
They need to have it set up for me. Because there hasn't been as many as there were last season, so it hasn't been. It kind of feels like how the season's been. It hasn't been that fun because there hasn't been that many storms.
I'm not seeing anything. Oh no, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't storm the court.
Yeah, that's a definitely take Utah. Then
They
respect the ball.
Confirm. I'm seeing several tweets about like they did not storm. They did not storm. So yeah, they did not storm.
They did one of these. Good game.
Yeah, good job.
Do you remember when Kansas State beat? I forgot what it was last year, and their coach was like, "Do not storm."
Jerome Tang. Yeah.
Respect the ball.
Respect ball. Absolutely. All right, gentlemen. Well, in and out today. Very efficient show. Very efficient show. But tons of picks for all of you.
Yep.
Ladies.
Big slate's coming back. The NBA starting on Wednesday with 1 game. I don't know why we would do that. Why just 1 game? You know what I mean?
It's just the appetizer for it's just the appetizer for Thursday, right?
You don't like getting
Appetizers are
teased?
supposed to come like before the meal, not 24 hours later.
Yeah, fair.
24 hours prior.
That's the M for you.
Okay, I'm coming to Chicago. I will be back. Okay, I'm coming back, and I know where you live too now. Okay.
Hey, I might not be there soon, so.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, I guess we'll skedaddle and get out of here. NBA returning Wednesday, NHL returning on Saturday, but we got the 4 Nations Championship on Thursday. College hoops every single day. Can't get enough of it. Boys, any last words?
More baseball content coming.
Go Canada.
Hi, Graham.
Bye, Daisy.
I got more WNBA previews coming. One more tonight.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You guys know the drill. Check us out at bettingnews.com. All kinds of scribblers out there from these fine fellows and many more about all kinds of sports, even the ones we didn't discuss today. Boys, happy Monday. Good week. Let's make it a great one. Let's have ourselves a night and cash some tickets. All right. We're out of here, people. Bye, Daisy. Thanks for tuning in. Bethune-Cookman, Baylor, USA, Sweden over, Brady Tkachuk, Zach Werenski, and McNeese State, courtesy of Vsauce CBB.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later. All this will be on Twitter. Peace.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? Riding in the deep. Down in the deep. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. Rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling. What you gonna do? Down in the rolling. What you gonna do? Right, y'all be loving this shit. What you know about